I've made a whole plan for our navigation today. Nicola has briefed me to do this so I can brief Stefan, who's going to execute the plan that I drew up. So let's see if it works out. Hopefully it will. Otherwise we're going to be beached. We're now in the process of doing a deviation table. I think you say it in English. Table de déviation for our compass, which gives us an idea of how our compass is off in comparison to the real course, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to translate it from French, so that's why it's a little, perhaps not so clear as my head is sometimes.
Tu arrives à ton cap magnétique, qui est encore différent du cap géographique, parce que sur ta carte de la petite rosace, tu calcules qu'en telle année, il y avait une déclinaison de temps, plus tant de secondes par an. Et à la fin, tu arrives sur ton cap réel, ce qu'on appelle le cap vrai, tu vas vraiment vers le nord des cartes.
Through a interesting passage here through the Madallena Islands. Lots of obstacles, turns and twists and course changes, and then adaptations to traffic, ferry traffic. So this is a good exercise to do for real. It's going according to my plan, yet we have been having to adapt the plan to allow for other boats, ferries, and so forth.
Chez qui je suis tombé? Ah!
Okay, we've left Sardinia, or almost left Sardinia. We're going to cross the Bonifacio Straight, and this is where I have to change flags and be very, very respectful of the Corsicans. Even though Corsica is part of France, don't tell them that. Corsicans very fierce loyalists to their country and
Corsica is the birthplace of Napoleon. It's what most strongly tied the Corsicans to France. But the island has been continuously under rule by invaders. The Corsican spirit is fiercely independent and strong-willed. They do manifest their point by blowing up French things occasionally. After all, it's their island. I thought the strait would be busy with cargo ships, but it was all the tourists and pleasure cruisers that made it busy. One of Nico's marine school buddies stopped by. He was working as a skipper for tourists, and tourists there were. Port of Bonifacio. It's absolutely, what can I say, it's beautiful. Jeez. Wow, spectacular. Here we are in Bonifacio, and there's just not much to say except check this out. Bonifacio was a fortress built nearly 1200 years ago to protect the island from invaders. It was like a scene from Waterworld. Imagine a modern remake with a prized island of decadence ruled by an evil playboy, the hot females that gild lone sailor, as well as lots of hot extras and pimped out yachts. How cool would that be?
So you are in Bonifacio. Nicola made a fantastic mooring approach and into this marina. Pretty tight, lots of boats. And, we got the essential things we need to get, namely cigarettes, and now we have to go get beer.
While in Bonifacio, we should have visited the walled city, explored, but we simply ate, then drank too much at a trendy bar with skippers and international crews from super mega yachts. The next day, after a shower and provisioning, we left a little hungover, shaken and stirred.
Pretty intense. 20 knots of wind. Guys are laughing. We're having a good time. Steffi's a little concerned, but I think we're doing just fine. Put to the test. Had to go get gasoline in a most trafficy area next to giant catamarans, giant royal fucking super yachts, little boats, jet skis, everything. And to boot, once we were moored to get gas, and I successfully did it, we had to move because the gas pump didn't work. And came inches away, if not millimeters away, from having the back solar panels scratch into the balcony and rip out the balcony of a super yacht. But we avoided a small disaster, and everything's fine. Sur le bout du gland, tu vois, ça fait un petit vent de fraîcheur, ça fait du bien, un bien fou. Tu vois, c'est simple le bonheur, c'est pas compliqué quand même. So we decided to get out of the wind and waves. We were going up close reach, and it was a bit difficult, and plus we weren't hardly making any, ground headways. So we decided to moor here or anchor here. It's a little spot, pretty nice. Tomorrow maybe we'll go for a swim and be a little calmer and mellower than we were yesterday when we went out for a few drinks over in Bonifacio with all the, big time yacht cruisers and trendy, young, beautiful people, which, alright, but that's why you go off cruising to be alone on your boat, is to get away from all that kind of nonsense that we were in yesterday. But it was fun to get in touch with civilization after a few days, so here we are. off. We had a good night. Restful, recuperated from our evening of drinks the night before in Bonifacio. We're going to another anchoring exercise. Steph will be at the helm of this exercise and I will be dropping the anchor. So we'll see if we can do this correctly, communicate, and go for a nice refreshing morning swim and shower.
Galopin has the advantage of having a retractable keel, which means a draft of only 130 centimeters, or 4 feet. It can anchor where many can't. The keel was making a funny noise, so we went to have a look and pried off some of the encrusted shells. Steph took it upon himself to fully scrub the hull. He was driven, as Nico told him he would gain a knot or so in speed. We also cleaned off the speed sensor, which gave a better indication of the actual speed. Galopin was ready to glide the Med. We had to cross from Corsica back to Port Lucat to beat a powerful Tramontane headwind forecasted in 3 days. So we had better go.